Community Forum on KCCC 930 AM, sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889.
Thank you for listening to Community Forum. I'm Hattie Quinn, and I'm in the studio today with Mike Antiporda, and we're going to talk about pancakes, everybody's favorite thing. Thanks for coming, Mike.
Well, thank you very much. I'm excited to be here with you.
Fabulous. So we'll get right to it. Coming this Saturday, Rotary Club is having a pancake breakfast, and that's held at the high school?
Yes, it's at the high school cafeteria.
Okay, and that, I believe, is from 6 to noon.
Correct.
Oh, awesome. I got my facts straight before we talked. I'm excited about that.
You've done your research.
Nope, that's pretty much what I know about the pancake breakfast. So I thought that we could start with, what is the purpose of the Rotary Pancake Day?
Well, there's a lot of purposes behind it, and I love talking about it because it's a project that's near and dear to my heart. And I'm going to back up just a minute. I'm going to give you a little bit of a history of how we got to where we are today, because I think that puts the whole thing into a good context for your listeners today. But the Pancake Day itself was actually started many, many years ago. And so it was really a project of the Kiwanis Club.
Oh.
And I would love to tell you what year it actually began, but I don't think any of us actually know when it began. We have some documentation that suggests that it started maybe in the 50s.
Oh, cool.
And so it's really been going on for a long time. So, and then what happened over time is the Kiwanis Club, they kept that going for many years. They did a great job. And so one of the reasons it's so important to me is because when I was a kid growing up here in Carlsbad, that was one of the things that my dad and I used to always come and do. I was the only one that would get up early enough, and it would, crack of dawn, we'd get up and go have pancakes. And so that was always a special part of sort of a tradition.
Yeah.
For us to do that. And I think that's what it's become over the years, is it really became a community transition where families would go sometimes for generations and enjoy Pancake Day. And so, of course, when I got older and grew up and had my family, my boys would go with me to Pancake Day also, and they always looked forward to it. And now when some of them are in town, they volunteer. I'm going to have 2 of my sons volunteering with us
fabulous.
this year. So it's That's one of the important things I like to point out, that even though it didn't originally begin with Rotary, it started with Kiwanis, it has been so important to the community. And that's why when Kiwanis decided they were going to close their charter here in Carlsbad, they were looking for an organization that they could pass the event on to. Because I think they realized, too, that this wasn't just about pancakes, although, everything's great about pancakes, but it wasn't just about that. It was about our community. It was about gathering and the fellowship and being able to do positive things in the community as a result. And but they had kind of struggled with their membership, because sometimes I know people are familiar with the fact that it's hard these days. People are so busy, and so they didn't have as many people to be able to really implement it the way they would have liked, I think. And when they closed, they wanted it to continue. They didn't want it just to go away. And so the Carlsbad Rotary Club was one of several organizations that met with them and kind of put forward their proposal and said, hey, we'd like to do this. And I'm very grateful that they said yes to Carlsbad Rotary. And I wasn't involved in those initial discussions, and I remember hearing about it at the time. And of course, I was pretty outspoken about the whole thing because the event meant so much to me growing up too. And I said, you know what? We have to do this right. I said, because we cannot let this fail on Rotary's watch. There's no way. And so I guess because I kept opening my mouth about it, I became the chairman. And so this time of year, I am rather affectionately known around Rotary circles as Flapjack Mike, and that's exactly
I love
why.
that.
So anyway, so that was about 2017 when Kiwanis had the last one, and then they turned it over to us, and they helped us in that first year to kind of guide us. A couple people in particular, George Dunnigan and the late Chris Bird, and they were fantastic in terms of helping us and explaining how they went about making this thing happen.
Right.
And so we started, and the beauty of it coming over to Rotary is that we have a pretty robust membership. And so I think that when people knew that Rotary was going to take it over and knew that it was that was in question for a little while, I think, because they didn't know what was going to happen with the Kiwanis closing, we were able to put a lot of energy and a lot of, people on it.
Right.
And it turned into a much larger event than it had been for several years, because it had kind of gotten smaller.
Right.
And it was always successful, but I think Rotary was able to kind of kick it up a notch, and which was exciting.
Yeah.
And so once again, we had this event that was a really big deal, and people were really looking forward to it. And because we had a whole community tradition to build on. It
Right.
wasn't like a brand new event. It was great. So
I'm looking forward to it becoming a new family tradition for my family this Saturday. We missed it last year due to health issues, but we're all healthy and good to go this year.
all right, let's stay that way.
Super excited about going for pancakes. Now, it's a pancake day, but do you serve anything else with the pancakes?
Yes, the tickets are include all-you-can-eat pancakes, sausage, and then in the dining area there's access to drinks and things too, so milk and coffee and water, things like that.
Excellent. And then, okay, so it's just a meat and a pancake, and then I assume the syrups.
Sure. Oh, and I should also tell people too that one of the other big changes that we made to it since taking it over was that not only can you dine in, but you can also drive through. And so we've got a drive-through also. So some people just want to pick it up and take them to go. Some people, they're on the run for some reason because, like I said, we're all busy these days. And so if that works for you, then you can certainly do that too. So it helps a lot. Actually, it helps because then we don't have quite as many people trying to cram into one space too. So it works out great, and we get to serve more people.
That's a great idea. And you mentioned that your sons are volunteering to help. Does that mean there are other volunteers who are not in Rotary who are helping out with the event?
Well, primarily, we have a couple different. First and foremost is Rotarians, because we have a good membership, and pretty much everybody gets involved in one way or another. Even if they can't make it to the event, they're involved in some other way, whether it's selling tickets or something else. And also we always include our families as an invitation to participate, because Rotary is very much family oriented, and so spouses, significant others, kids, grandkids. Sometimes there's certain jobs that can't be done until they're 18, but otherwise they can help out, and there's always something to do. And besides that, we're also very fortunate to have the help of a lot of students from the Interact program, because there are several Interact clubs now in town, which Interact is an organization that's actually related to Rotary.
Okay.
And the whole purpose behind that organization is to encourage kids to learn about service. Ooh. Because, of course, Rotary's motto is service above self. And so we really put a lot of emphasis on encouraging our young people to learn about serving their community and serving others. And so hopefully they start out there, and hopefully they continue later in life. And of course, hopefully they become Rotarians later on. But, so we have a lot of the Interact students as well.
And I know I didn't invite you here to talk about Interact specifically, but do you know the age range of those kids in the Interact clubs?
They are, well, there's a there's a club at the Carlsbad High School, at Carlsbad Early College High School, and Loving High School. And then I've heard some recent discussions about possibly a new club starting up at PR Leyva Middle School. And so that's the first one that I know of that we've actually gone down into the middle school level. And so I'm hoping that takes off. And so we'll see. But it's those ages.
That's really exciting. My kid is not in a public school, but I definitely am very focused on teaching him about service to others, because we are all in this together, as I'm always saying
Yes,
to people.
we are.
And so we really need to take care of each other. And that's, I think, one of the things I loved about Rotary when I was first invited to a lunch, is that it was so immediately, obviously focused on helping others. And I was really impressed by that.
It's a great organization. I've been very fortunate to be a part of that for a lot of years now, since I think like 2008, something like that. And there's a couple of interesting aspects, because of course there's the service element and the projects that happen and things like that. But then there's also even just the fellowship of it, and the fellowship. There's some really amazing people involved in the organization from all different parts of the community, doing all different kinds of work, and so it's just it's really a great organization to be involved in.
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to be a guest of a member who's a real estate agent, and a member who is a local artist, as well as a member from the school. So you definitely do have a nice wide range of members. I even got to go on the tour of the Carlsbad theater before, the Cavern Theater before it
that's
opened.
right. Yeah, I remember seeing you there. That's right. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, and well, part of the meetings too, besides just meeting and having lunch, is that we typically have some type of program that is instructive in some way or informative. And so we are all learning about different aspects of the community that maybe we didn't know about before, or something that's brand new that's just starting up. And so you actually learn a lot about our community too. So that's really nice. And in that particular case, we were able to take a tour of the newly renovated Cavern Theater, which is amazing. And so things like that come up, and it's great.
Yeah, that was really cool. But also the guest speakers are really phenomenal. I've been there for a couple of really cool talks as well. I really appreciate that. And then you mentioned, of course, it's service before self. So I think it's safe to assume that we're fundraising with Pancakes toward that work for next year, I believe you said earlier.
Sure, yeah. And so we oftentimes will raise money, and there's a number of things that we do with it too. One of the things is we use a lot of the money for supporting our Interact clubs that we just talked about. Mm-hmm. And so we do that. That's really important to us. And then also there are some Interact scholarships that are awarded to those kids that are involved in Interact when they're graduating from high school. Those are available. And then also used for other community projects as well. So it has a lot of purpose.
Nice. Yeah, and I think that's really great. As I told you in our conversation before, I didn't know what Rotary was before I came here, and I had just seen throughout the years in the different places I've lived a lot of gardens that were sponsored by Rotary, so I thought it was some sort of garden club. And so it was really neat to get to go that first time and hear about you. You guys were working on a clean water project for somebody at the time, and it was like, oh, okay, this is way more than gardens.
That's right. Well, it's kind of exciting. One of the nice things about Rotary is that even though it's the Rotary Club of Carlsbad, we are actually connected to Rotary clubs throughout the world. And so there's something like, I think it's like 1.2 million members worldwide. And I have no idea how many countries worldwide. And once you're a member of Rotary, if you have your pin on, you can basically walk into any Rotary meeting in the world, and you are welcome.
That is so great.
Yeah, so it's really great. And so some of the projects, like you mentioned, the water project, I know it's probably been a year or two or so since we've done one, but we oftentimes work together with other clubs and pool resources and funding, and so to accomplish some sort of project internationally. And so, like, we have done some water projects in places like, I think it's Bolivia we've done some, and Guatemala is another place that we've done some. And, it's things that we really take for granted, the fact that we can just walk up and turn on the faucet and have clean drinking water. And whereas some people in those countries were walking several miles with jugs, filling them up, and then walking back with heavy jugs of water, and doing that every single day. And because there was no source for clean water for drinking, bathing, cooking, anything like that. And so some of the projects we've done have allowed providing water, a source of water to more remote places to eliminate that. And it's a start.
I love that international focus as well as the local focus. It's really important. Circling back to pancakes again.
Okay, it's all about pancakes.
No, but pancakes are very important. How much are tickets for the Pancake Day?
Well, and that's the wonderful thing. Tickets are only $5. And it's all you can eat. I know. People look at me and think, oh,
I don't think you guys can afford my husband going to Pancake Day.
Oh, give us a try. That's the wonderful thing. But, the tickets ourselves, we are so fortunate to have really great sponsors involved in this too. Like, our title sponsor is ExxonMobil, and we have numerous other sponsors, including the Southeast New Mexico College.
That's correct. I just heard about that today. I'm excited.
Yes. And so because of these sponsors, we've been able to keep our ticket prices as low as possible because we want people to participate.
Right.
And we want them to join in the fellowship of it, enjoy it. We're going to, when you come out there, it's not just come in, eat your pancakes and get out the door. We also have, we always have music playing. We've got Jay Gonzalez is going to be our DJ again this year. He's done that for a couple of years now. And we've got performances by the Early College High School Choir. They're going to be there.
They're phenomenal.
For a little while. And then we also have, we'll be having a performance by J.J. Aguilar. And he's phenomenal. So, and sometimes we have others. We've had one that had to back out at the last minute this year for health reasons. But, so it's a really great opportunity to just enjoy people and have a good time and just take a little time on a Saturday morning to enjoy pancakes and other people.
Absolutely. And is it too late for people to get involved other than coming and buying pancakes? Like, are you full up on volunteers? Or?
We're pretty much full on volunteers. And we do have some of our title sponsors. Our title sponsor and some of the other sponsors occasionally have some volunteers as well. And they've done it for years, especially ExxonMobil. They've done it for a lot of years. And so between them and all the students we have in the internet clubs and everything, we're pretty full. but we thank you. Well, we sure do want everyone to come out and enjoy.
Right, absolutely. If you want to help, just come eat pancakes.
And then one other aspect that I haven't mentioned yet is that, remember we talked about service above self being our motto. And one of the things that came about a couple of years ago that we have now started to continue every year is at the same time we have the Pancake Day, we have a blood drive out in the parking lot. And so anybody that signs up to donate blood on that morning at that spot will also get free tickets to the Pancake Day too, because we want to encourage that as well.
So, that's great. Yeah.
A lot going on.
A lot going on. And do you know of any planned upcoming projects for this year?
I don't have any. I don't know what's coming up after this year. I know there's a project in the works right now for the Carlsbad Better Family Shelter, and so that's going to be exciting. I know. I think it was supposed to happen this last week, but it got delayed by the weather, like everything else did. And then but like we've done multiple projects, recently, and this, last year's project was a really interesting one. We did a project with the Packs for Hunger program, building shelves and things, and we had like an army of people out there building shelves, taking down old ones, and just making it a better, more efficient, safer
that's great.
situation. So yeah, so there's always something.
I love that. So you said that you are the chair or the head, the lead on the Pancake Committee.
That's right.
Would you like to tell us about the committee and who else might serve? Or?
Sure, I would love to tell you. So our committee has always been just a bunch of the Rotarians that want to get involved, and they have leads for different aspects of it. What people are surprised about usually is when I tell them how long in advance we are actually working on this project. We actually started meeting in early October.
Oh, wow.
And for every 2 weeks, and then as we get closer, it's been a little bit more, but actually now it's been about every 2 weeks still. And so actually today we have our very last one before the big event. And so, but there's usually anywhere from 8 to 12 people maybe that are actively involved in a year of all the planning and issues. And then we start getting to the event itself, and then it explodes and we get everybody.
All right, of course.
Or at least we try to get everybody.
It usually works that way with volunteers, right? Like eventually everybody hops up, but some people are in for the long haul.
Yeah, and and that's the thing when we, the event is 6 to noon, but we have volunteers that, we have to do a whole lot of setup the day before.
Absolutely.
And then there's a number of us that will be there by 5, and then once it ends, we have to get everything cleaned up, and those griddles take a long time to cool down, and then they got to be moved out, and then it takes the day.
I believe it.
And there's some of us that we're there from start to finish the whole time, and so but we're kind of tired later. But then all of a sudden we're like, oh, what are we going to do next year?
Exactly.
So, always thinking.
I really appreciate, as a person who's prone to volunteering and an event planner, I have to say I really appreciate that you've been planning since October, because it's really a disaster when people throw together last-minute events for this many people. Right?
Sure.
It definitely deserves the amount of time you've given it.
Yeah, well, yeah, it takes a lot of time in, but I'm really fortunate because the committee members, they handle so much of it. One person could not pull this off. There's just no way. And everybody's busy, like I said, but they do their part that they can. And some people have stayed with it for multiple years, which is the greatest thing, because then they know it.
Yeah, they know what's going on.
And so there's certain ones I don't even have to worry. I say, how are we on this? How are we on that? We're good. Such and such is happening, and this is arriving on this day, and it's done. It's great. And so, but everybody plays a part, and it all comes together.
Well, Flapjack Mike, I really appreciate you coming in and telling us about Pancake Day and a little bit about Rotary and what it does. Why don't we remind our listeners about all the kind of the logistical details for them to attend?
All right. Well, very good. Well, I sure hope that everybody wants to come out and join us. We would love to have you. It's going to be this Saturday, which is February the 7th. Super Bowl Saturday is what we always call it, so that we make sure everyone knows when it is. And it's going to be from 6 a.m. until noon. So whether you're an early bird or you like to sleep in a little bit, we're going to be there for you. So please come out and join us. Tickets are $5, and we're going to be at the Carlsbad High School cafeteria building. So if you'll come up on Church Street, enter the main entrance at Church Street, which is at 3000 West Church Street. You'll see all the cars and just head to the cafeteria building, and we will be there waiting for you.
I love it. And you can get the tickets, you said, the day of if you need to?
Yes, you're welcome to buy them in advance from any Rotarian that still has some tickets available. And but if not, no worries. You can just purchase tickets at the door.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate this.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're listening to Community Forum on KCCC 930 AM, sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889.